Hey, welcome back to another video. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explain what it's going to do. Then I'm going to show you the program running. And then I'm going to go into more details about the program itself. So this program that I've created, so I'll let you see this UR3e robot that I'm working with. And you can see this conveyor belt that I also have. This is a Dorner 2200 series conveyor belt that we have here. And on it, it probably just looks like a straight white line on your screen, but these are 6 individual plastic blocks. Yeah, these 6 blocks are going to traverse down this conveyor belt. And then the sensor 2, that's called sensor 2, is a sensor. I have a sensor over there that is going to send a signal to the UR3e and say, hey, there's something here. At that point, this robot is going to move over to the approach point above the block. It is going to activate the gripper. It's going to move downwards, close the gripper. After that, it's going to do a grip check. So grip check is a function in this program that you can do to where it detects if something's there or not. So if something is detected, then it will pick the block back up, move over to this approach point above this pallet. Because I've got a palletizing program in here. And then it will place the block. It's then going to move back up to the approach point, go back over to this approach point, and then go down. It's going to pick up the block, which it does do a grip check before it picks up the block, or while it's picking up the block again. And then it'll pick it up, and then it's going to bring it over to right here, and there will be a pop-up menu that appears on the screen on this teach pendant, and it's going to say, is the part good? And you can either click yes, no, or cancel. So if I was to click yes, then it would continue the program as normal and place the block. If I click no, then the block will move over to the trash bin, which is on the corner of the table. And then if I click cancel, then the whole program would just be canceled. And then so the purpose of this is it's to simulate what would happen in a situation where you needed to inspect the part. And so I'm just showcasing this functionality, or this aspect that you can have. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the program so that you can see it run and see how it's working. I will also include the teach pendant screen in the top left hand corner over here. So it'll be playing at the same time this is moving. And just make sure to watch for the blue arrow that's moving down the item tree at the top left of the screen. So I'm going to go ahead here and click this play button and play from beginning. Okay, so that's the second part. Every 2 parts, this menu pops up. Is the part good? We'll go ahead and do yes. Continues. Conveyor turns on. And again. So this is the 4th part. It's going to have a pop-up. I'm going to say yes. So this is the sixth part, and it's going to ask again. So this time I'm going to click no, and what's going to happen is the robot will bring this block over to the trash bin and then dispose of it. It'll then move back right here. The conveyor belt will move and then stop. And this will actually do the grip check and see if there's a part over here. So it's going to move over here and then close. It's going to see that there's nothing there. And at that point, it's going to exit the program and go back to home. So I did a halt feature. So then it goes home and then the program is ended. So I'm going to click no. There we go. Up to that area. There. Nothing's there. And then it goes into the home position. Okay, so that was the program running. And so just to explain a few things that I have in this program, I've got the home position, set the block count to equal 0 every time. And then I've got the main program with everything in a loop, so it constantly cycles. And it says if the block count is less than 6, then set the conveyor to on. And then, so the conveyor stays on. And then I have an if statement that says if sensor 2, which is this one, is equal to true, then it's going to wait 0.5 seconds just to make sure that the block is all the way over. And then it sets the conveyor to off. So this is a set. So if you can see, this is, let me open this. So a set command, that's what I'm using right there. Set, it's in the basic tab. I have a set digital output conveyor to low, so that means off. And to get this variable, I had to go to digital output right here in the IO section. It says conveyor, but in order to get that, I had to go to installation, general, IO setup, and then name digital output 2 to conveyor. So I went there and renamed it. Okay, so that's actually how I got that. This is the actual palletizing section. So it says pallet 2. These have patterns, but it doesn't go to those first. It drops down and it goes to at each item. So at each item I have part ready, this variable called part ready equal to false. And then I'm looping that part ready equals false. So I have the conveyor set to high, pulse for 1 second, and then wait. Waypoint 1 is the approach point for the conveyor. It's then going to do a gripper activate to just activate the gripper. And then it goes down to waypoint 2, which is the pickup point. And then it does a gripper close. It's going to check to see if there's an object there. If it was, then it's going to go to waypoint 3, which is just straight back up. And then part ready is equal to true, right? Because it did detect an object, so that is a part right there. So part ready is equal to true then instead of false, right? So then after it's true, block count is another variable that I made. Block count is equal to block count plus 1. So it's adding 1 to block count. And then if the block count equals 2, or the block count equals 4, or the block count equals 6, it's going to call the subprogram. This is a subprogram that I created that's named operator inspection. So if it's 2 blocks, then it's going to jump down and go into this operator inspection, the subprogram. Okay. So all of these moves right here, this is where it asks you, is the part good? It goes to in front of you, and then it has this pop-up right here that says, is part good? Or is part equal to good? So if it's false, if the part is not good, then it's going to move to the trash bin, which is all of this right here. It's going to open, and then it's going to set part ready equal to false. And then move to waypoint 5, which is that part in front, that move in front. So in front of the blocks. Okay. And then it'll just jump back into this loop that I have going. And it'll continue to place blocks until it equals 4. Once it equals 4, then it'll ask again. And then if we click yes, then it's good and continue. It'll just continue to where it was and go to the approach, and then set down the block and then exit. So I've got it right here because if block count is less than 6, then it goes into here. But if it's more than 6, then it goes down and goes all the way to this else. If there's anything else, gripper's going to open and it's going to go to home, and then it's going to do a halt. The halt just completely stops the program. There's also other things that I've done, such as increasing the acceleration and speed inside these moves, these different moves. So I have also some joint moves and linear moves. I don't have any process moves because it's not needed. And then another thing to note, in some of my other videos I talked about, I have a series called Industrial Electronics, in which I talked about in that video how I had a diffuse sensor. Well, these have light sensors as well. There's 2 of them, but these kinds of sensors are called retroreflective. So it sends a light over, and this is a reflector right here, and then it bounces back. So if this sensor detects the light bouncing back, then the value is a 0. As soon as you block that light, then it becomes a 1. So it means something's there. Yeah, and also had to hook up the modular control box and the separate controller as well. But I'll most likely talk about that in a different video. So this is my video on the setup that I've created for the inspection program. And so like I said, I'm definitely gonna have more videos coming out. Make sure to check those out. But other than that, also I do have a personal portfolio website that you can also check out. I'm gonna leave a QR code at the end of the video as well that you can scan, and it'll take you to that website where I have some of my projects that I've been working on, and other videos, and my resume, and things such as that. So like I said, definitely check out my other videos. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope this video helps, and thank you for watching.